Growing up, I was the sixth child of seven. I had 5 older sisters and 1 younger brother, and times were difficult. It was 1968 I was born, and that was the time Martin Luther King was killed. And I had a white father and a black mother. We were always in church, though. I will say that. We went to a Baptist church, and that meant we were in church all the time. Our father was pretty abusive. He really was emotionally, socially, physically, mentally abusive. My brother was bullied a lot, and I would see it, and then I would put my head down. You know, I'll be honest, I wasn't the best older sister. I didn't always protect him, and I feel like my brother dealt with some form of autism. It was challenging, for my brother. The day I graduated was the day that my mom and dad broke up. My mom and I moved out of the house, and my brother stayed with my dad. Eventually, my father passed away, and my mom moved back into the house with my brother, and that caused a lot of trauma for my brother. My brother was upset with it, and eventually my brother tried to kill my mom. And that was devastating for me. I was embarrassed. I was trying to cover up and be, just a regular person. And it was so hard, because, my brother was always dealing with the guilt of trying to kill my mom. And as much as we tried to get him through counseling and everything, it just was so hard for my brother. And again, I wasn't the best sister, and one day I just said, I'm gonna quit law school. I was modeling at the time, and I decided that I was going to go to New York City. And I wanted my brother to come live with me and in New York, because we could make a new life for ourselves. And he wasn't having it. I mean, I'm his older sister, and he was angry with me for telling him what he was going to do with his life. And we started arguing back at each other, and I was pretty nasty. I was pretty angry. I was forcing my opinion on him. And we had a knockdown, drag-out argument. The next day, I went to the airport to get on the plane to go to New York City. And I got a call on those old white courtesy phones in the airport. And I found out that my brother had jumped off a bridge and committed suicide. And I took a long time for me to forgive myself, and I get teary-eyed just thinking about it again, because my brother, he took the time to walk up a bridge and jump off, and that was tragic. The days following my brother's suicide were hell. I don't remember a day I didn't cry. I had to find a way to heal from that, because honestly, I thought about taking my life, but then I thought then my mom would be left with 2 kids taking their life. And so I really cried out to God to help me mostly forgive myself, and then to figure out how I could live. I moved back home to be with my mom. And that's when my mom started writing me notes to encourage me and helping me with scripture that we can do all things through Christ, and that I can hold on to God's right hand, and He is going to lead me. And that even though we walk through the darkest valley, He's always with us. I found myself just praying to God, help me be a servant. Help me be the person that you want me to be. And I realized that my greatest joy in life is going back and helping as many people like my brother. Without God, I have no idea where I would be. And I feel that that was the answer. Growing up and going to church and having my mom love God and being a part of my life was what saved me. Because crying out to Him and asking for forgiveness and asking for His love in my heart was what I needed to be able to survive. Now, honestly, I take every single day I wake up is an opportunity to live with joy and excitement, because I get to go out and I get to help someone and I get to share the love of God and I get to let them know that my past does not define my life now, that I get to live with freedom and I get to walk with purpose. Because I think a lot of young people are looking for transparency, vulnerability. They're looking for real life people, right? They can smell out fake in a second. And I want them to know I'm living with real joy.